Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, September 30, 2021, Thursday. Talk about quality, safety, health, environment, and engineering continues in various episodes, and this is also one of those. Concern about quality, concern about safety, health, environment are very important. Significance and title of talk is Civil Field Engineering, or you may call engineering related to life. Then engineers. I have tried to change some topic title and included engineers directly on quality and quality AnnexSL, safety, health, environment, designs, construction, methods, contracts, organizations, and of course communication, coordination, and why we should be behind quality. These are general, you can say general issues, because lakhs of engineers, millions of engineers have and this is professional certificate. I'm just trying to show them, at least engineers should remember that they are not ordinary in responsibility. They are bound to reach this text, that is quality, SHE, ergonomics, and all that. Every day I try to show to people, actually it's for people, and engineers are also included within term people, but they are little different because they are engineers. Like doctors are different in health organization, health sector, engineers are different in production, in manufacturing, in construction, and everywhere where engineering works. Quality is something that cannot be, you can say, thrown away. That even if you don't like, you have to include this factor, and it must be done. But who is responsible for that? Question comes into mind. Every person in society cannot understand this. It's an important issue. Then we have to also discuss about world, and we too are part of world. We cannot deny this fact. Quality system is very much required, particularly in this time when quality is kept at back end, when quality has been forgotten. Videos are 00 again. Well, let me hope that it works. I have put in engineers here after life, civil field engineering, life, and engineers. I am very much concerned about this issue. After all, what is an engineer? I am now about 67 years running, and I have seen varying changes in life, from log table use to to calculator use, then to scientific calculator use, and then to, you can say, now computer use. Life is changing, we know. It has been changing. Safety requirements are also changing. When I was too young in my profession, we did not even use safety helmets on sites. We did not use safety shoes on sites, and nobody knew about these, highlighters. Of course, Googles we used, colored glasses, you can say, sunglasses. We used normal shirts and pants, and of course caps. It was 19. I started my foreign career, overseas career, in 1981. I completed my diploma in 1974, then completed my IEI education, Section A and Section B of engineering, and that is equal to engineering degree. I completed that in 1980. And since 1980, you can say, leave behind 6 years. I don't want to count them because this was not complete education. Degree is called complete education in engineering. It was called at that time. So 20 plus 21 years, 41 years plus 6, 47 years total. I am not saying I am very big man. I am not a big man. I am ordinary worker in engineering, and still I could not understand what does engineering mean, keeping abreast current circumstances pertinent to safety, health, environment and quality criteria. I could understand quality when there was no quality system. In fact, that time I could understand quality very well, and I, not because it was taught in my university or college, that was not reason for that. Reason was that in field we talked a lot. Though there was no quality education, there was no system as ISO, or there might be, but it was hidden. People used to talk about quality, there's a quality control, there's a quality checking. And I was new, I could understand, yes, quality is something, because in ordinary life quality had some meaning. And people were also honest, sincere. In those days, they may be old now, those guys, and they were really concerned. There was corruption indeed, I can say. There was some level of corruption. But that corruption could be called corruption because of its scale of impropriety, you can say. Some people used to call in those times that if you take quantity like salt in flour means powder of weight. If there's a flour and take little salt in that, okay, that level of corruption may be accepted. So that was definition of corruption, though corruption is corruption, I mean to say. I can't support it. I never supported at that time also. Had I supported that, then I would not have given up government job. I was employed in Delhi Development Authority at that time. That is, statutory body. And I worked there for 6 years after being appointed in Municipal Corporation of Delhi. So MCD to DDA, and then I gave up that job after I completed my AMIE, or you can say Section A and Section B of IEI, that is called Institution of Engineers India, and that course was very difficult. Difficult in a sense is horrible if you compare it to degree syllabus, because in degree, if you once enter university or college, certainly you will come out after qualifying that. It used to happen that way. People used to call that it's easy to pass engineering degree if you compare to studying Section A and Section B of IEI, because first of all you must have passed diploma in civil engineering, that was 3 years, which I qualified in 1974. And after that I did not want to study, because once you get qualified, you got education, then you don't care for education. It happens still that, but now scenario is different. In those times engineers were very rare, they were not available. Some were available, some were not, means diploma was considered enough for job purpose, and job was main criteria. But diploma was not enough for me, because I had a desire to go overseas. I got many opportunities even after passing diploma, but I did not avail those opportunities, because somebody told, if you go now, you won't be able to complete studies in future. And this is neither complete nor incomplete. Job is there, of course, but job was not my aim. My aim was to become an engineer, to be competent enough to design, to drawing. Likewise, that my father's desire also. Because when I got admission into diploma, I did not know what I would be or what I am going to study. There was one gentle professor who took me there to college, and till I passed, I did not know what's my job. Well, I'm just telling you how innocent I was. You can say I was a third grade student, third class, and I never could become very good student in my studies. I'm just giving the reference because some people speak a lot. No problem, everybody is right. Now, why I'm referring to engineers, particularly in this talk? Because there is no dearth of engineers in this country. There was a time when there was a problem, but we are plenty. We are, you can say, population of engineers in this country is now considerable, particularly if compared to our country. And of course China is one also, we cannot go against that. They are also having population of engineers much better than our engineers. I have seen, of course, problem is language. Otherwise, if you see those engineers, if you see engineers from other countries, I can say we were never considered inferior to some other country. And you could say our people are working hard, they used to work hard. And you can know, I started my work in 1981 in overseas. I started from Iraq, and when I started working there, after having worked for 6 years, in Delhi. I was born in Delhi. I was born in Delhi. I am a Delite. Delite means our forefathers all from Delhi. So I at that time did not like working of DDA, DDA or MCD, because there was no engineering. In fact, if you consider taking measurement of site as engineering and making bills are engineering or approving bills are engineering, well, that could be engineering, quantity engineering. But quantity engineering should be based on real engineering, and you cannot certify some quantity work or work done without having components of quality in that. So it happened many times. I fought with contractors. I still remember 1974 time, when 1975 I remember, when I had dispute with some company at that time. It was Opal Constructions. I had disputed with them for what work I was given to supervise, and I actually did a lot of work on that as far as supervision concerned. And because I was innocent, I did not understand politics of job or politics in engineering that time, departmental politics or contractor relations with engineers. My colleagues were different. They were having all experiences. I was just fresh. I was looking after some 180 flats, 180 180 dwelling units, and I was given job of plumbing and sanitary of that. You take care after this, and I did everything for that. And ultimately, what happened after inspection, checking, I measured all those quantities. I entered, and because nothing conformed to requirements, so I simply entered everything and certified that work was not constructed according to specifications. Well, I was honest. I did not know what would be, you can say, consequences of that. I raised many questions there. Where is this plumber? Where is his license? Means I had dispute with that owner also, who said, I am engineer. But I told him, okay, you are engineer, that's fine, but are you on site? You stay here. And that person could not digest that. Even our senior could not digest that. XM could not digest that. SC could not digest that. Well, I disputed with them. I do not repeat this. So I'm just telling you, I faced problems there. Problems of shunting out, or problems of transfer, or problem of this, and I was after this complexity, I was transferred to some other project, and I kept rotating on this project to that project, this project. But my aim was to complete my studies. When I was fed up with them that this is such kind of, you have to depend on commission from contractors, you have to request them to send you to some job where there is work and you can get some billing. And somebody even asked me to go to superintending engineer and ask him get me some job. It's like that situation. I was just 19 years old or 20 years old, and I could not understand that time what are contracts, what are this, because I was only educated, not experienced. And if I had experience, I would have corruption experience. I would depend on commissions at that time. So it was a clear time, 1975, 76, 77, up to 80. I traveled in that organization, on many projects. And at one time I requested my superintendent, here, please, I want to stay in office. I don't want to go to site. At that stage came, I requested, I want to stay in office, and my excuse was that I just want to continue and complete my studies. So even that officer posted me in coordination engineering, means planning and coordination. It was called that you are go to planning and coordination and work there. So I have to deal with all divisions, executive engineers, assistant engineers, and senior engineers like that, to collect information of process. So this I'm just trying to tell. It was my inclination at that time also, when I did not know what was quality, what was contract. I was like a baby, you can say, not even budding, just a baby, because I was not even complete degree. I was not having degree at that time. My final, I can say, last examination that I appeared in Institution of Engineers, Section B, was in 1980 December, and I was confident that I would pass it. And at that time, passing Section A and Section B of Institution of Engineers India was considered an achievement. Degree was not considered an achievement. This was everywhere. Oh, you are AMI, means just like a shock goes to someone. It was considered higher than BE. In fact, practically, it was considered much higher than BE. And you can say, because it was an open examination, there was no restriction on syllabus. Syllabus was defined, but it was too difficult, in fact, comparatively. Means one is formal examination, where you have guides, you have professors, you have terminology, everything. Means you passing means is not a problem there in university examination, and maybe it is ME or it may PhD, whatever. I'm not saying it was PhD which I studied, but what I'm saying is you have to study yourself. Means very few private level classes were held, very few. You have to study yourself, you have to find everything, and you have to work also. That's it. I was working also, I was engaged. So that time, I kept myself in such a constraint. Means I could not sleep well, I could not enjoy my life, and I had to struggle for studies. So I learned something from there, that without hard work you cannot do anything. Of course, I'm just giving this background because of my experience, but this background stayed with me even after passing examination and after changing my working career from government job to some other job. Though I was in government job, if I was corrupt, I believed in corruption, I could stay there, and I could be corrupt, to be very frank. My friends were there, my colleagues were there, and when I used to meet them after coming on vacation, oh, you are there, we are earning this much, see, I have bought this car, I have got this flat. If you were here, you would have become this, or you. I say, okay, very, very good, you are congratulated, you got some, but corruption is corruption. You may be billionaire. If you are a corrupt, you are corrupt. Simple. You may be trillionaire. If you are a corrupt, you are corrupt. Corruption cannot be suppressed. It cannot be measured in terms of money you are having. After all, robbery is robbery. We have to understand this. This robbery may be of money, or this robbery may be of something else. I am calling it robbery, and I call it robbery. Loot, you can say. Money which is not your right, and you are earning that. So I can simply say you are a robber. Whoever you are. You may be president, you may be prime minister. Doesn't matter to me as far as robbery is concerned. So I am reflecting my experience. Then what I learned in that job, I thought I am very high class person. People called me officer Rai Sahab. They used to call Rai Sahab or Sahab. And when I qualified my section B, contractors started calling me, oh, Rai Sahab you are. I don't know why. I think this was terminology. They used to title in municipal corporation, they used to call Babuji for overseer. Then higher positions were called Rai Sahab or Sab Bahadur, like that. That was British, British narcotism. So they started calling me Rai Sahab, but I did not understand all that very well. I just stayed there for a couple of months and left. I think I left in May or June. after passing my qualification, and I entered in Gulf. But there I was completely, I found a different world. I could not even imagine, and somebody told me, oh, you will be in problem there, this and that. People discouraged me, though there was no problem. I said, I am discouraged here. My father never taught me that you involve like this. My father wanted that I should be a good engineer, building engineer, who could do drawings, who could understand drawings. My father was not very well educated, he was a shopkeeper. But he had some ambition that I should be that one. And I remember that. I did not know what I was. I never dreamed that I would be an engineer. I never dreamed. I was very simple, very, you can say, low profile, below average student. And I had my childhood problems of economy. So I could never get admission to university. If you understand, maybe you don't realize that. When I qualified my higher secondary examination, in those days in 1970, when I qualified higher secondary, it was 11th class examination, you can say, now it is 12th. I got only 47% marks. 47%. Can you imagine now? People get 95%, some get 99%, but I was very, you can say, bad student in that way. My marks in physics, chemistry were bad. Only I got, you can say, some marks in English and maths. Well, it's okay. That was time. I moved further and further, and somebody told me, forget about degree. Better you go to sciences, BSc, or try diploma. Diploma was considered as if nothing, as if it is a polytechnic was considered as a school, a technical dastakari school. It was considered at that time. But anyway, it happened. I moved, we got diploma pass, then I got job, and then I did further study. I wanted to study further, but my economic circumstances did not allow me. My family, my father's responsibilities, who left before I qualified, who left for his family abroad, so I was alone with 4 sisters. So I had some problems, my personal problems, which have no relation to be discussed here. Then what I say, I'm coming back to topic, why I am interested in this topic, particularly quality and safety. Safety was no meaning in those days. Quality had some meaning, and that was only from specification viewpoint, not from system viewpoint. There's a difference. Now system and quality and specification both work together. That time there was no availability of system. People were serious in work, and in fact I started learning from there itself. In Qatar, I can say it was my first university of field. I call it field university, not engineering university. In Qatar, I was exposed to such projects where I can say I still salute those engineers from Iraq who supervised my work. Lady engineers, you can say gents, both. They were so concerned with work, millimeter by millimeter, you can say. Even in those days, it was 1981, 82. 4 meters heights of columns were cast. I used, you can say, reciprocating stationary pumps for concreting in those days. Tower cranes in those days. Mobile pump in those days. 81, 82. You remember, maybe half of you were not present in this world. You were not born. In those days, I learned that, which in our country, Bharat, India, was a dream, remote dream, distant dream. One engineer told me, very senior engineer, that you have a chance here. You try to learn something. You could not even dream these machines in our country. Well, he was right. I could not see any such machine. This JVC is something new. Was nothing at that time. It's now it's very common. But I have seen such machines there. I could not dream. So I was beaten also by consultants. I was beaten also by engineers. Beaten means not physically, mentally. Do you know this? Do you know that? In one interview, when I applied for Iraq in Delhi, I appeared in one organization, Continental Construction. I thought I would win because I have graduated from IEI. They will respect me. Yes, they respected me very well. They interviewed me for 1.5 hours and they rejected me. I am openly saying, according to their questions, I was duffer. I had no place in engineering society. Though I was having 6 years experience that time, but practically to work in field, I was a kachra, you can say, rubbish. They asked me such questions which I could not even know these questions could be asked. And well, no problem. It was my weakness. How could I blame them? I should have known that when I applied for a post of civil engineer, which is a senior position. And I should not apply them. I should not have applied just because I passed engineering. I am a civil engineer. That time you realize, no, I am not civil engineer. I could not answer their questions. This means I have deficiency despite I was AMI. Despite I was a qualified engineer. But in field, I was not considered qualified. In another interview, I said, okay, if you want to go as foreman, no problem. Clearly said that you are not qualified when keeping experience in consideration. So you have to go as foreman. Well, of course, I felt very bad. I did not go there because I had some problem and I didn't know what foreman was. Maybe you may be thinking what rubbish I am talking, but I am talking facts. I am making some background why I am involved in this kind of talk. First is medium is available. Second, I want to share my experience with people because I am finding quality is negative now, not only in civil field, in every field. There are 15 branches normally in engineering, maybe more, but let us say 15 branches, including all disciplines, all fields, civil, electrical, mechanical, electronics, automobile, aerospace, agricultural, this and that, mining, etc., etc. 15 branches if you consider, you will find no quality. People of this country and people of other countries, they do not know quality. Go to China. I have been in China for 10 days and we get news every day. China is not a civil engineering country. America is not a civil engineering country. I can simply speak what experience I have. I don't consider our country as engineering country. I don't consider China as engineering country. I mean civil engineering, I don't consider America as country of civil engineering. To some extent, England was a country of civil engineering because on its own they are not civil engineering, but because they ruled many countries, they had good experience and they understand some quality system, they understand some paperwork. Americans don't understand any paperwork. Chinese work in their own language. England works somewhere because they know they are English people and we know English. And likewise, you can see if you go to Far East, not Far East, in Middle East, Africa, like Libya, like Lebanon, like other African countries, you won't find that scenario at all. Writing is missing. People don't understand anything. They only speak. Speak is dominated there. Speech only, no work. If you had gone that time to European countries, you will find same thing. They understand quality better than England, but writing is a problem. They write in their own language. So if you analyze like this, we are far behind. We are, you can say now, on negative, not only on zero, not only on datum line. I am really regretful with that. We are number one or second one in engineering education. In engineering, you can say strength. We are having millions engineers in this country. But what's benefit? What is the benefit? Tell me. If we can't create quality world, we can't deliver quality in all fields of engineering, you buy any item. Buy whatever you want. A small item you buy or big item you buy, you won't find any surety. Yes, warranty is there, guarantee, everything is there, but quality is not there. They will give you warranty card, they will give anything, but when it performs, particularly in last decade, I can say, if not decade, 5 to 10 years back, Quality has dropped very badly. I don't know before that was because I was not here regularly. Whatever I buy, it doesn't work to that requirement. You buy UPS, you buy some oven, you buy, what do you call it, inverter, or you buy a small item. You can't have confidence that it will work. If your machine or your equipment after buying, it stops working after 1 week, and there's a warranty for 2 years, what would you say? It happens. It happens also. I don't say that in overseas everything is perfect. It's not perfect there as well. But I'm not concerned about overseas. I'm concerned about my country. In overseas we can say there is no millions of engineers. I remember that time I was in Iraq and I had to work with some consultants who were from Jordan, planning engineers, and they used to discuss with us about planning because they had to prepare planning charts in those days. 81, where there was no bar chart, there was no MS project, there was no computer at all. So when we discuss with them is what's your status in your country? How do you? Oh, I am number 1 in my country. He used to say that, planning engineer. Oh, very good, Jordan engineer. I am number 1 in my country, But how many? Somebody asked. One of my colleagues asked him, how many engineers you have in your country? Oh, we have 3 engineers. Oh my God, I was surprised. 3 engineers, and you are one of them. So you can see strength of country. Could we say at that time in 1982 that we are 3 engineers? We never said. We have on records a long list of engineers. There is no depth of qualifications here. There is depth of digestion. There is a depth of determination. There is a depth of will. And it's because of system. Because we are not leaders in society. Engineers never think they are leaders. Why they should be leader? I am leader doesn't politically. I am not talking of politics, remember. I am not talking of politics. I am talking of profession. There was a time when engineers used to build. We had nothing at time of independence. Everybody knows. We were blank. We were, you can say, green field. We had nothing except some crops, some agriculture. We had to develop our country. This is a fact. What politicians say, I don't care. Fact is that civil engineers were starters, were primers. They had to do everything. Still they are primers. Of course, there is overlap. There is, you can say, coordination requirement. All engineering have to move together. But civil engineers is a dominator. It dominates every other engineering because without work of civil engineering, all other works cannot be done. That's a fact. And it's not new fact. It has been since beginning. You can take example of China. You take the example of UK. You can take example of Europe. They did a lot of engineering. You can see some drawing from France. Okay, I'm talking when I was in Libya in 1983-84. I was shocked to see what a beautiful design, and they give on drawings itself methods what you have to do. Means they don't say you do yourself. I was so much impressed by their system. Though it was in their language, it was not in English, but drawing is drawing. Terminology is not important, drawing is important. I used that drawing, and I did not find a single problem in activities, though I never did that before. But I implemented based on whatever was indicated on drawing successfully. In 83-84 I'm talking, in 1983-84, about 37 years back. Then I completed those foundations, big foundations of generators. You can say it was a generator power station, standby power station. That engineer from France came because our government company, they wanted that it should be certified by that designer who designed this, by that design company. And those guys came, they stayed on our site for a couple of days, and that gentleman, using underwear only, he wore out shirt, he wore out pant, he went down in foundations, checked each and every point, each and every measurement, strength, sizes of pockets or grooves, voids. And he asked me many questions. I answered. And ultimately he said, well done. But I was encouraged. He said, everything is perfect. I'm just giving this an example, not because I'm perfect. No. I was a good learner. I tried to learn because I did not do that work before. And still I remember that. It's very old time. You can say 84. It's now 37 years. I still remember that. There was no system of quality. But one should have will. Engineering does not mean you only depend on earning. This is civil engineering I'm talking. I'm not talking electronics engineering. Civil engineering is basis of life. Civil engineering is basis of society. Civil engineering means total engineering. It means life engineering, I can say. It may be design in civils, it may be field in civils, it may be whatever in civil. Life cannot move without civil engineering. Yes, services are inserted. And even if there is no electricity, civil engineering can work. It cannot work without water. It can work without electrical engineering. You can have simple house without electricity. You can have good ventilation, good circulation of air, and you can live in that, of course with flies. So what I am saying is, first of all, I have a pride that I joined civil engineering. That's my pride. It may be at lowest level, doesn't matter. And that's what I want to say to my juniors, my youth, that don't think everything is good. Don't think everything is what you think. Imaginations cannot work, life works, facts works. Without quality, life is nothing. If your body pains, if your mind is not sound, can you think? Can you move? Can you work smoothly? That is my question to every engineer in this country. Not only some forums, to every engineer. Your job is not to earn money. Yes, you need money, that's okay, you require money. But money cannot be your aim. Money cannot be your terminal. You are builder. You are designer. You are executive. You are administrator. You are leader. You are teacher. You are professor. In your field, I don't pull professors from university here because they are only theoretical professors. They are not field professors. There is no designation of field professor, but professor is a professor. You teach workers, you teach juniors, you teach non-qualified people, you teach vendors, you learn yourself from everyone. It is mutual route. You are teaching, you are learning. Every project is a degree, to be very frank. If you work for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years on a project, you have a degree if you successfully do that. And that degree means you have gone through all documents on that project, all contract documents. Somebody may be having 40 years experience, doesn't matter. If that person cannot project its achievements, you may be failed sometimes. I failed many times. I many times repeated that. I got bad times in my field. I was, you can say, put a black mark on my face. I can accept that. Nothing wrong. In this world, if I do something, I'll make mistakes. What's wrong with that? If I correct that mistake, that's my job. If there is no one in this world who can say I am perfect, yes, you can criticize my work. You can criticize only when you at least come in abreast of that work. At least you study that work. You can criticize. But just because you want to criticize of zeal or something else, that's not right. We are not politicians. We are experts. We are like industry. We have to produce something. Our side is industry. Our side is factory. Because we have to go to our patient. We are such doctors. Patients cannot come to us. Every work is patient. Every material has to be treated. This is civil engineering, which is life engineering. And civil engineer is number one engineer because it has to start. It's like safety engineer who has to start, and who is number one in consideration, not in value. Again, I'm saying in consideration, in approach. Every civil engineer is starter, is primer of that pump which should pump this work to be done and delivered in form of project which can be converted to operation, because project is one name and permanent name operation of that unit or that work which you deliver. Once you hand over something successfully, finally done, and occupation is given, project status goes away. So you have to do many projects in life. My purpose is not to teach you, but to share with you my experience. And you have every right to share your experience with someone, with everyone. And my concern is quality. Quality does not exist anywhere now in this country. This is a matter of concern, great concern. We cannot simply say we are doing quality work. No, I don't accept this. In 98% cases, quality doesn't work. Even if engineers are good, they are well educated, they are doctors and masters, there is no meaning of their education. There is no meaning of their work if that work is not performed per quality. Experience doesn't matter if you can't do quality. I may be 50 years experience. If I can't do my job per quality requirement, I am not an engineer then. I am a contractor. I am just a businessman. I am interested in production. I am interested in profit, nothing else. I don't care about future. Am I that? My question to myself is, and you should ask yourself, what is that? Well, you may say he talks a lot. Yes, I would talk a lot. I would talk a lot because it's my job. I can't digest bad quality. I can't digest substandard work. I'm in engineering. There are so many platforms these days on professional works. On Facebook you go, on LinkedIn you go, or you see some other platforms like Safi. Thousands of engineers use these platforms, thousands, every day. It's structural engineers or construction engineers, whatever. Engineering is engineering. I don't differentiate between two. As far as design is concerned, yes, every information is available, every sequence is available, softwares are available. Now, I'm not talking of that time when we used to do manual design on papers, calculations, everything, and I think that time was better. I compare it because we used to at least involve ourselves. Our minds used to work. Active minds were there. We had active minds, calculations, and every engineer could assess, okay, this answer is right, or whatever proposing work. But now this situation has gone, or you can say you may be designer but you are not confident enough. And keeping in view whatever questions are raised by youth by young engineers, these questions clearly tell that confidence is lacking. These engineers are not having clear concepts. And when you don't have clear concepts in designs, then of course you can't have confidence in work also. Though there is every facility, you have to do design, it's a proof check. See, question is not what regulations say. Question is what is your will, what is your internal mind. First you have to be confident. I stress more on individual quality, not on work quality, not on design quality. If your individual quality is acceptable to you first, you have to accept yourself. You accept what I am sure I have done is best. Then you can say, okay, you can think others would appreciate you. It's not appreciation at all. I think appreciation is not important. If quality is good, if your quality is recognized by that person to whom it will go, then you can say, yes, this person did not raise questions. This person did not ask me many questions of clashes, or my design had clashes. How many clashes my design had? working, construction ability, build ability, your design should not create problems for that person who works on site. It may be site engineer, it may be contractor, or whosoever. Quality cannot be achieved in that situation where answers are not clear, and quality must be defined. You cannot leave it to, oh no, there is a system, there is a method. You don't know the method. Means question is surprising. Why do you expect a foreman to know methods? Why do you expect a site engineer who may not be having enough qualification, but that person is site engineer? There may be some reason for that. You can't expect your opinion to be imposed on that. That person is independent, that person is interested in clear information. I am not claiming, I am not stating you are not giving information. You have to scrutinize yourself. Self-scrutiny is more important. It's natural in engineering when we do something in first time and we edit it, we review it, we change, at many locations. We make many changes. Again, if you do it, we will make further more changes. This happens. It is design or it is writing or the specifications until, a final mode comes where sometimes you don't even identify where is mistake. You are so bored with that. Okay, that happens in profession. Specifications define limits, what you have to do. And I think that's not end. End is implementation, end is execution, end is prosecution, end is understanding. You should make up your mind. Keep yourself in place of that person who stands in sun, who stands in you can say cold, who works in rain, who works in sandstorm. Means he is imposed by all weather conditions, and you can't expect that person to have similar level of minds as you sit in offices and work. You take support from softwares. Now you are not alone. Software is with you. You are not original designer, in fact. Nowadays no one is original designer. It pinches, but it is a fact. Those were original designers in 80s, in 70s, in 90s even. They used to work self. Their designs were not books or you can say volumes of printouts. Their designers were in mind. They used first principles, maybe working stress method or some other method. Now there are so many formulas, they used. Means their designs were based on confidence. They tried to communicate what to be done on site. But now, of course, it is copy and paste to some extent. I'm also a criminal of that. You can say I'm also a criminal. I'm not saying I'm separate. I also spell everything because I also use tools like computers. Everybody uses it. Even then, I have some corner in my heart, in my mind, that raises questions to me all the time. Oh, you are not doing right. You have to check it. You do it. It's different. Means it's easy to point mistakes of others. It's easy to lecture others. Just I am doing this work, lecturing. Of course, I should not, but I am finding something that I want to share. Quality is such a base. If it exists, it's very durable base. It's like foundation. It's like soil engineering. If soil engineering is well understood and investigation is done and we apply that, you can design best foundation. And if you can design best foundation, you think is that enough? You can say, oh, I designed very good, I considered every requirement, every parameter. But you see what that person has done on site. You yourself say, this person is rubbish. My work has gone waste. When you realize when that work is done, what is meaning of that? That work cannot be redone because it's money, it's time, it's material. You gave very good design, you thought that, but that person did not like it conveniently. That person had different way of life in profession. You had one, you have idealistic way, but that person had problematic way. Your design was based on as if everything is worth in life, everything is smooth in life, but that person had different problems. That person had to solve its own problems. That contractor had different approach. That contractor wanted to make money or save time. On that was, oh, leave it, do your way. It happens. So you think in that stage your design worked? I would say no, it didn't. Design just like somebody, you're walking, I give you lift, can you? Or you're walking for sake of walking. I would say no, I'm walking for sake of walking. So if I design only for sake of design, I think it's no meaning. It's not university. It is field. It is field university, which is much higher than your professors' projects. It's for people. Whatever we do, it's not for 1 year. It's not for 2 years. It's for decades to come. It's for decades to come. That point is very important. So everybody is required to ask, what is that? Is there some way out? I'm not here to teach you something. I have no right to teach you. I'm just sharing my experience. Again, I'm saying, you don't take it otherwise. I have been on one forum named Sefi, I think, maybe approximately time when it started. I still remember 2003 or around 2000 on that forum. So it's, you can say, I'm not name on that forum. Of course, I'm not well educated in comparison to those members who are postgraduates, who are doctors. I'm very small in comparison to them. But when I consider my struggle in life, I don't say you don't have, everybody has struggles. My struggles were, you can say, merit cum means. I never had any merit in my education. I never was very good student during education time, and I devalue myself. But education is education. It's theory. It's not field. And whatever we learn, it's not necessary we should use that, because field is always more advanced, industry is always advanced. It is much more advanced than what we learn in field, and I realized this in field work. When I entered in profession, in beginning, I could not realize anything until I was in government of this country, or you can say in contracting field or supervision field. But when I entered in different world, where you can say whatever ground I had in my country, that ground slipped. I had to restart. I had to learn everything again. In fact, this was a class, you can say, all nationalities. I think I worked with more than 50 nationalities of world. You can't accept that maybe, but it is a fact. Work cultures are different. When I say nationalities means it includes workers also, because I respect them too. I don't respect them, oh, you are worker, you are third class, you are illiterate. For me, they are literate. More literate than me, because I am only theoretical. I am only classed, they are free class. Some has experience from their clan, some has experience by training, some learn and they know how to solve problem. Only they should be given information through system. So I never consider them first of all labor. If I consider them labor, then I am super labor. Simple. I then consider myself a worker at their level. It may be a watchman. I don't consider a watchman as if I consider guard of site. I consider my guard because that person is number one, where people enter and tell me who has come. That guard takes care at night of all site. So that guard is also responsible. A helper is also responsible. Mason, carpenter, or whoever technicians are, they are responsible, and we are over them. But we should not forget that if they don't work, we won't work. We can't work. If they don't work, we can't work. That's also true. First of all, we have to understand system. We have to understand quality. We have failed in understanding quality. There are people who don't share their information, who actually are even, you can say, irritant. They got irritated even reading others' work. I accept I am ordinary person. I accept I make mistakes. I accept that I am not excellent. But requirement is initiative. Problem is we don't have initiative in this country. We can say, keeping abreast all these points, I can say we are a sleeping world. We are a sleeping society. We are non-serious. 98% people are non-serious and others are intellectuals and they have different world. But in engineering I can say it's different field. If we sleep, work sleeps. If we sleep, development sleep. If we sleep, we are not serious. Work will not be serious. Simple. There can be problems with my work faced by many people, but I feel sorry for those who are very well experienced, who have decades of experience and they don't have digestion power. This is really I feel. I don't object because everybody has freedom, but because I am also in that level, I don't feel if somebody criticizes me. I feel happy if you criticize, provided you also do something. You have right to criticize only when you are having initiative. If you don't initiate, you just why somebody is doing this. Maybe I am wrong. I never claim I am right. If I share my experience, I share with that platform which is public platform. If you share your experience with public, what's wrong with that? Even if it is repetitive, maybe public know it already, it doesn't matter. Engineering is repetition. Engineering is repetition. Every repetition gives something different. Practice is repetition. Contracts are repetition. Designs are repetitions. You can design one item in 10 times, in 10 different ways. You can use different reinforcement, different sizes. You can do different sizes of beams and columns. So what do you say then? This is flexible world, engineering, civil engineering. If I write something, maybe second time I don't write that way. If I added myself my writing, maybe next time when I do it, I would find different text. And this happens because it's original writing. Some people say something which I should not repeat, but I just declare clearly, whatever I write, it's not from books. If there is a book, then why should I write? Tell me. If already I have a book, am I fool to write that? I don't understand that. There is no book. Yes, there is collection of information, and engineering is nothing but collection of information and to find more information from that collection. That is engineering. Engineering is never original. I never claim it's my work. I still remember that time when after having few years of experience in Iraq, I wanted to write that experience. I wanted to write that, publish that, and I prepared many sketches when there was no computer. I used ballpoint pen and pencil to make those sketches on piece of papers, and these were not theoretical sketches. These were work-based sketches, which I did my life. I could not copy those drawings. I remembered what I did there. I recalled from my mind what I did on this project, what I did on that project, what type of designs were there, what type of work I had to do, what was my duty, what was the structure there, organization there. Means you can say in 92, I just compiled something when I started my career in, you can say, to be very frank, from 81 onwards, I delete these 6 years of the, you can say, diploma type era. I consider from 1981, though it was since 1975. Well, I collected that one in my mind, and what I did, how we worked on site, means there was no system, nothing, but we worked. Where I was failed, I failed at many places. I don't have any shame to say that I made mistakes. And why should I have shame? It's work. If I work, I would make mistakes because I am a learner. I was a learner, you are also a learner, everybody is a learner. And learning means you have a right to make mistakes. Even if you learn at the age of 70 years, you can make mistakes. Everybody has a right to do that. And that's why I'm specifically talking about this. So if I write, it would take a lot of time. I thought this video I devote to people who have certain problems with me, with my work, and I appreciate that also. Means if thousands of people are against me, against my work, so no problem, everybody is right, but I am still, I want to tease you, in fact. I want to encourage you. Don't tease in different sense. I want to encourage you to come out of sleep, come out of dream, that everything is proactive, everything is self-active, nothing is proactive. Civil engineering is a dynamic world. If you are not dynamic, you can't be civil engineer, remember. Civil engineering doesn't mean design alone. Mind it. Seriously, I am telling you. Civil engineering is not design. Civil engineering is work on site. If you start with design, that's fine. But design should be prosecuted correctly. It should be transformed through quality. But it doesn't happen in 98% cases. You go and see yourself on sites. You cannot shed away your responsibility. It's not my job. I'm not concerned. You can't say that. Because you designed. It is assumed you did it. Even if you did not do it, it would be assumed that you are a designer. It's your drawing. Don't think that architects would do it. They are not you. They are not engineers. They are artists. You cannot depend upon them. And you also cannot depend upon those people who are on site. Even if you are not site, you have a surveillance. You must have. It is very serious mission. I am sharing with everybody. Responsibility goes to you exclusively. It's not with someone else. This is not court. The lawyer is responsible, or that lawyer is responsible, or just could not understand that. It's not that. You are lawyer, you are advocate, you are barrister, you are prosecutor, you are witness, you are judge. That is engineering. Engineering is super field. It's not simple degree certificate or postgraduate certificate, diploma, or you can say diplomat certificate, doctorate certificate. Certificate is not engineering. Work is engineering. I still learned this from Arab world. They taught me what is engineer. I could not learn here. Here engineer is gazetted officer, engineer is class 1, engineering MD, engineering CEO. No. Engineer means who can deliver. Engineer means who can create life system. Engineer is who can create something new. Engineer is that. Engineer is who can use natural materials optimally, who cannot destroy natural materials. Engineer is who understands quality, who understands more than quality, who can do it. Engineer is who can train public, who can train workers, who can train system, who can teach through projects. Engineer is that. And if I cannot do that, my certificate is useless. That's why I always show my certificates. This is what engineer has. My certificates are not final authority, and you are too. You are too. Your final authority is your work. If you cannot digest some writing, if you cannot digest something, what can you digest? If you are irritated for something, it is repeated, I don't think it's right way. If you teach someone by saying he wants to remain in top 10, oh, sorry, I had no intention. You take off my name from there. I don't need that. My name has been there in top 10 since beginning. It's nothing new, and I don't need that. You take out my name from there. I don't care for top 10 or top not 10. What does it mean? What shall I get with that? Even if say I'm number 1, what shall happen? What is famity there? What famous? You think you count, is it democracy there? You have to count votes? Or you are number 1 in number of writings? You think number of writing could do? And somebody says, oh, there are so many postings for this work. There will be thousands of postings. There would be. It's your choice. Don't read it. It's up to you. It's your charter. It's not my charter. My charter is that I present something and your charter is to reject it or to accept it. But why do you blame others? If you don't have any pleasure, don't read it. And if some forum does not allow me, that's forum's charter. I can't force someone. On that forum, I was, indirectly stopped many times. I did not mind that. I left working on that. But when I said, no, information should reach people, and that is one medium, don't think you are exclusive. Don't think that. Public is there. My information should reach destination of people, not to engineers alone. Just like people know about medical science, just like people know about hygiene, people know about society, people know about culture, they should also know about engineering culture, engineering society. What is engineering? You claim anything, we are millions of engineers. You claim anything, I have 50 years of experience, 60 years of experience. How much you educated public? That's my question. Did you educate public? Or you are only in books? You only keep yourself in books, in designs, and never come out of that? Tell me, is quality not your responsibility? Tell me anyone. I challenge everybody. What is your duty? Is quality not your responsibility? If it is not your responsibility, whose responsibility is this? They may be juniors. They work on sites. They may not be like you, educated. They may be diploma holders. They may be fresh engineers. Who shall teach them? Politicians? Architects? Shall they teach them? It's your job. You may claim, I am teaching them. Where is exposure? Tell me. Is there something else better than these platforms? It may be Facebook, it may be LinkedIn, it may be Safi, it may be something else, where thousands of people can read your what? Whole world can read your documents. Are they fools who put so many files on these? You do your job. If you are so serious, you do yourself. I just wanted some initiative. I never claimed I am expert. I just wanted to share what I did. It might be wrong, it might be right. What's wrong with that? If there is some medium, it's very difficult to write books. People say, I am copying out books. I don't understand their mind. There is no book. There is no book at all. And if there is book, okay, show me. If there is a book, why should I worry about that? And I learn from that. It's my bad time, and it is your bad time too. That time when we joined profession, there was no books. We used to take only textbooks with us, 4 or 5 books when we used to go to some other place, and you might be having that. We had civil handbook, we had designs, RCC designs, structural steel designs, theory of structures or construction books, where we could have some good reference while working, because books are not available everywhere, as in plenty we have. You go to Libya, you go to Iraq, you go to some Gulf countries. Now maybe it is different. I have not been there for many years, but what was the state there? I could not find a single book in market there. And if something was available, that was in Arabic or in French or in some other language. So I used to carry books with me, maybe 5-6 books each time, just for reference. If I need some formula, if I need some mechanism, if I want to know what works, and you have some time also to pass time, you are alone, you are bachelor, you have no society there. So just on Friday or some other day, you have some time, you can read that. But situation is not same now. It is a confusing world. You find internet full of information, but half of that is rubbish, misleading. Sometimes something is genuine, something is not. Who would verify that? Only those people. You go and see Facebook. Yes, every young engineer is publishing. Everybody is publishing. See, this is that. Okay, publishing is not bad, but you must have experience first. If you just publish anything which is available in books, there is no meaning. Books are available. You have to publish that item which is not available in books. I know how much problem I had to face in publishing my first books in 1992 when I gave to publisher, CBS publisher. This was building practice, civil engineering, and I wanted to expose how I worked in field. Because I faced many problems there, others should not face. That was my objective. It was not to become an author. Oh, I am an author, see, I full my CV. I am not interested in that. Because even if you write anything in your CV, you write whatever you want, it doesn't mean that it's justified. You have to face interview, you have to face examination in some cases. In many cases I faced examinations, written examination, then interview after that. So if you do not know anything, how can you do that? You can write your CV, or even if by chance, by mistake, based on your CV, you are appointed, can you work? It is engineering. You will fail there. What shall you do then? You will be out. So your CV design, your lying statement won't work. Because quality is a requirement there, procedure is a requirement there. That's not Bharat, that's not India. Sab chalta hai. Here 25 mm, 30 mm, 1 inch, 2 inch, no problem. Chalta hai ji. Nahi chalta hai. It doesn't work. You have not seen such cases. India is not world, Bharat is not world, world is world. We are part of that. Engineering never applies to one country, it applies uniformly to all countries. Why such people are requested? Because we are hard-working people. We are dedicated people. That's why we are respected, not because of our standards. We have to learn. And I was very lucky that I had opportunity to work with those nationalities who are well named, well reputed. Whenever I faced Indians, believe me, I was not successful. Indians are hacksaw for Indians. Indians are saw for Indians. This is you can say debacle in Indian people. They don't want to appreciate others' performance. Why this person is working that? I still remember. I never care for time. I never care for system. I have my own system. I always work 2 hours before I start work because I am early riser. It's my sight. You can say because of my, first of all, my education base, I have to study myself in degree, and that works like that. In Gulf countries, you have to start early. You cannot say I start at 9 o'clock, I'll come your side this much, I'm a consultant, I don't have time. I was not a consultant all time. I worked as site agent, I worked as site engineer, I worked as consultant, I worked as designer, I worked as coordinator. So ultimately, you can say my practice turned into engineering coordination, and I think that is not civil engineering alone. I can say practically I am not a civil engineer. In fact, I am a coordination engineer, and coordination engineer means complete engineer having some knowledge from every field, but specialist knowledge from its own field. And field is field, work is work. It includes designs also if it is EPC contract. It's not simply only construction. You cannot finalize something, oh, I am a contractor. Okay, if you are a contractor, it's very good, you are a professional. It's not our contractor standards, it's international standard. Contractor is assumed a professional expert, just like engineer is expert. Contractor is also expert. If that contractor is not expert, how can you give job to that person? Tell me, you are an engineer, can you give job to a foolish person? Can you give a job to someone who doesn't know anything? That person should also be qualified. And don't say it is international. International or national has got no meaning these days because of no quality, because of failure in quality system. Everywhere it is a failed. And that's why, having all these problems with me, I have seen in my life many debacles and I earned many bad names also in field because of people want to play with each other. They pull legs. And I was, you can say, in Iraq, I faced 2 or 3 problems where I was questioned. One column was out, it was to be demolished, it was dismantled. One wall burst. It like this, and also in Qatar, it happened with me. My slump was caught. It was not up to mark. Then, of course, I am open. I don't want to hide anything. If you are in engineering, you are in trouble. Either you train yourself or don't. Then don't call yourself engineer if you can't do quality work. If you are not inclined towards quality, then don't call yourself engineers. Even if you are a design engineer, if you don't consider quality, I can say you are incomplete designer. If you don't keep in mind how field works, how do they work, you have to ask them first if you are not clear about that. If you are clear, that's fine. You have information. How work is done in field, what problems do they face. I think I learnt a lot, what problems are there. You have to keep how foreman works in field, how site engineer works in field, how contractor works in field, and then keep all these points in mind. Don't run advanced only. Oh no, this is that advanced theory. Advanced and mean people are not advanced. First is resources. If human resources don't work according to your desire, according to your plan, then there is no meaning. Work can never be achieved at quality par. How can you achieve that? You cannot face life. Machines are there, but machines are not exclusive. There are also operators. This machine depends on operator. Concrete pump depends on operator. Crane depends on operator. You have to keep these factors in mind. Resources are resources. If we don't have optimum use of resources, we can't do anything. We have to see time management, time organization, material organization. We have to keep everything in mind. Just unit, oh no, I'm a consultant or I'm a designer, and that's it. No, that is not end of life. You have to be overlapping. You have to be considerate. You have to be digestive. I don't mind if thousands engineers say your work is wrong. Okay, you say my work is wrong. I will try to check where I'm wrong. No problem to me. But don't just consider anything. You think I'm hungry of top 10? Why should I be? I'm not hungry. You can take anything from there. I don't mind. Why should I be from the top 10? I was once selected for a prize award, and that was Bharat Jyoti Award. I did not accept that because they wanted money for that. They wanted 7,000 rupees, something like that, less than that. And this was long back. Means, should I purchase award? If you want to give award, give it free of cost. And I have seen many people in engineering, overseas also. Oh, I got that award. You Bharat Jyoti Award, you got. Oh, you paid? Yes, I paid for that. You want a collection of awards by that method? Really, it is sorry. I don't want to be Bharat Jyoti if I have to pay award money. Means, what is meaning of that? Tell me. My project is my award. My work is my award. Because I consider it award. I don't want to show on my CV, this is my award, that is my, what shall I do with that? What's the meaning of that award? If people are not happy, if work is not good, if your building collapses, if bridge collapses, if item doesn't work, what is meaning of award? This is, you can say, nonsense. Always writing, oh, award winning. Okay, tell me what you achieved. I don't want these societies to tell me or give me award. You are all human, you are nothing else. You tell me first what you are. I ask everybody, you tell me what you are. Just talking 10 minutes in seminars, 15 minutes in some deliberation, in some webinar, and I have this certificate. Okay, you have certificate, that's fine. But tell me your achievements in quality. That's my question to everybody. It's my request to everyone, write your approach, write your experience of quality, raise questions on quality, and I'll be happy. I have been on some forum of SAFE, I think since 2000. It's about maybe more than 20 years. And when I started something writing on that about quality, maybe for 2-3 days some people respond. After that, it is dead. I did not see any post in particular for quality. No member is interested in that. No reason behind that. I don't understand why. They do not go beyond designs of bending moment, shear force, deflection, sway, this and that. Okay, that's one part of life. But what about bending moment in field? What is bending moment of quality requirement? What is shear force of quality requirement? What is deflection of quality requirement? What is shear force by people? What is shear force of problems? Who will tell you? Is there no application? Is there no bending moment from work? Is there no bending from contract requirements? What is that? You never care about that. You only care which softwares can do. Can software solve those problems? We have to contemplate. I started writing something when I was very much upset. I discovered that people are not interested in quality system. I had many disputes with many companies. Means we pay for what? If I buy something, I pay for what? For rubbish? I pay for rubbish if I buy HP mouse. I pay for rubbish if I buy some Microtech item or some IFB oven. My question to myself and to these people is, where is quality? I am not blaming quality system. I blame people. I say you have many certificates claiming that you are a certified company. Certified for what? They say ISO certified. I am sorry to say, regretfully to say, ISO mandate does not allow any certification. Keep in mind, no authority ISO has got for any certification. ISO is a body of standardization. It's not a certifying body. And people say ISO certified. Unfortunately, even institution of engineers use that terminology. Despite being leader in engineering, they use wrong certification. You are not ISO certified, here you are system certified. Some representative exists in market, recognized representative, that body certifies, not ISO. ISO is a standardization. It constitutes a standardization. So we don't even understand basics of what we write. Every engineer, every industrialist, every company owner, they use this terminology. Means you only want to display what is your certificate. You want to use name behind your name, some title. Why don't you care about quality? I have not seen any consideration, any heat you can say. I have not seen any anger, I can say, about quality system failure. No engineer has heat. No engineer has steam in mind. If I've talked to them, they skip. They think it's not their job. And that's where I feel. It's not your job. Whose job is this? Whose job is this? Tell me. If quality job is not yours, what's your job? Then why are you engineers? Means you are accepting pressure from owners of contracting company or manufacturing company or some other interest that you least bother. You have no stamina to fight with the system. Means you are ready to investigate when accident happens, when building falls or collapses. You write notes from USA, from London, from there and from there. We have to learn lesson. What lessons? Which lessons? Why don't you learn quality? Why don't you teach quality? So that it should not happen. Why do you depend on investigations? There is no need of investigation if your work is well designed and well applicable when applied. Why should that stage reach that We have to investigate what for failure. Simple. It is failure either of design or of quality. What is there in that? It's very clear. Either design is failed or quality has failed. Finish. And design rarely fails because you use software, you use calculations. Quality has failed. So simple. Working has failed. So what is investigation? And some people even say something else. Means that is different angle, but I'm just reflecting what I find. Oh, because they were reserved engineer, SC or ST. That's why I did not do anything and failed. Well, such approach is irritant. You can blame my writings. Yes, I have collections, many collections. I never destroy anything which I learn. Maybe I had to copy from some contract document, something for memory, but I always edit it. This work which I am trying to share with you is not new, but it is never in books forms, never. There are so many pages. Somebody said he has used so many postings, 800 postings in this chapter. Don't worry, my dear friend, it will be 8,000 also. It is your prerogative, it is your pleasure. If you don't want to read, I am not going to force you, and I am also not hungry for your memories of SAFE. I am not hungry of my status in SAFE. Nowadays there is no depth of platforms, and it's not for my benefit, it's for benefit of people of India, people of this country and people of world, and not even people of SAFE also. I least concerned. If they are not interested, it's up to them. I am not interested in your system, I am not interested in your memory, but I respect those who respect others. I till now had only one engineer, senior engineer, who always comments on my postings, and I like it. Because quality is not requirement of for one engineer, it's for everybody. And if you cannot take interest, that's no problem. I never send mail to you that you read my posting. You can say anything about that. But I take my work religiously, quality religiously, design religiously. I am not slave of softwares. I never care for softwares. My mind is my software. My interest in work is my software. If I get a document from whatever source, even from law, that's not my field, I go through that. Because knowledge has no end. Maybe for you it is a problem. I am a debris engineer, you can call it. No problem, I am a debris engineer. Or you can say, I am a dumping yard. Okay, I am a dumping yard person. I am a sewage person. You can call me anything. It doesn't impact my health adversely. It tells only your mindset, nothing else. Maybe there are chances of repetitions, but think from professional viewpoint. In profession, you have to repeat. If you cannot repeat, this means you are not well experienced in profession. Simple. You may mind it, I don't care. In profession, lot repetition is required. Profession moves packaged. You have to work in profession, you have to be in package form. Package is package. It's not one document, it's not two documents, it's not three documents. You can all time say, this document I did not put that time, I now send to you, you enclose yourself. That is not professional activity. You cannot waste time of others. You have to talk in package. So repetition is a part of profession, and I intentionally do it when I do. You may say anything. It's not text. It's not syllabus. It's not engineering student who has to study. It is a professor who is in field. I consider every experienced engineer as professor. Even if one has no PhD, no problem. PhD is very small. Functionally, it's only 3 years course, and that's also guided one. That is not original one. So field is not guided. Field is a responsible one. If you have credit of one project, this means you have lot credit. Credit of finance, successful financing, credit of quality system, successful working, credit of contract, you successfully administered that contract, whether in engineer's capacity or in contractor's agent's capacity or in contractor's capacity. You have credit of procurement, you have credit of planning, you have credit of safety. All these credits are chain linked in your CV, even if it's not defined. But every project tells, if it's say 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever project you have done. There are so many projects which can run for 5 years. Project of Doha Airport, which run for many years in phases. Every facility plans runs for a couple of years. So you have another PhD, you may say, real PhD, not formal PhD. Maybe it's not entitled to write, but experience is experience. Experience means working knowledge. It means definite knowledge. It means claimable knowledge. And if you write that, I think maybe you don't have time, but in some point of your career, you have time. Maybe when you are 50 years experience, or you are 70 years old, you are 60 years old, then it is your duty to write somewhere. Or else when you die, this work shall remain somewhere. It will be of no use. And maybe your soul suffer, oh what I did. So I always try to write something which I can remember, or now computers are available. If I have an opportunity, I take references copied for further study. Documents are there, thousands of documents. Drawings are there, sections are there. I'm not saying you copy them, I never say that. But you can keep something in mind when you do it. When you see that drawing for, you can say 10 times, 15 times, you have to see that, you have to revise that, you have to raise questions, so you remember everything. At least we can write something which people can understand, students can understand, our juniors can understand. If somebody says he is writing a lot, no, I am not writing a lot, I am writing very little. If I separately kept this title as field engineering, because I don't want to interfere with designs. I don't want to, but field is more than designs. If you can understand field engineering, I think you can improve everything. Design is respected, remember. If field engineering is not done to mark, your design is rubbish, it's no use. You keep in books and tell I have designed. No meaning of that. If my drawing is successful only when field person is successful. If field person understand quality of concrete, if field person understand what is meaning of soil, how should value that? I think you are successful designer. Your success depends on that field person, that site person who works for you. Actually that person works for you, though that person works for contractor or for consultant, but origin is your station. A designer is successful only when it is worked in field. You have to keep that reality in mind. I learned from English engineers, from other engineers, what is quality. I did not know anything about quality, frankly speaking. I still remember those instances when I was tortured, I was, teased, and I did not mind that. I tried to improve. Once technical from that project, and I think that project has taught me a lot. It was plants project, but I learnt a lot on that. One time I was writing about method statements of foundation, compressor foundation, which is a big one, massive block, about 500 cubic meter of concrete in that foundation itself. I did not know completely of that, and this was, supplementary cementing material foundation. Use was SCM, supplementary cementing material, GGBS. 70% replacement of cement by say GGBS, 70% to replace cement. Well, it was ready mix, so only on designs we could understand that this is requirement. And when I worked on that, because they demanded method statement, without that you can't work. So I submitted method statement to my knowledge, whatever I could understand. As you know, it reached that company's main engineer, and he raised one question to us. curing. Means we defined everything according to requirement of contract, according to specifications, according to codes. Everything was okay. One question was asked, which that engineer was satisfied with. What is your plan of curing? I said, written in that. No, that's not real one. But I use that means water put on flooding, just like we do flooding. No, this is not that concrete. This is not way of curing on this. I want thermal curing. I by that time I could understand what he says. Our Lebanese guy, he was senior to me. He still could not understand, but I said okay. Now he just explained, means for sake of answer to that person, that I don't want evaporation, go out. I want that heat generation should remain within concrete itself, and concrete should cure without loss of heat. I could understand that. Though I did not do that, but see, it is clear. You have to insulate that body. Of course, sides are insulated. Only exposed portion is not insulated. You got it. So then he explained to him, you can use any method which you want. You can use this method or that method. Means he should. Well, we arrange that. Okay, we will do that. So I revised that statement, and that statement was later on approved. And they say, okay, your statement has now become a professional document. I'm not saying it's by credit. It's learning, Sometimes I'm not sure about something, but because I have to fulfill document, and I have to write something which I know, and nobody objected that. But that engineer who was expert on this, he said no, he just changed this and that's all. And it happened with every statement. I used to write every statement, though I was not on site. I was in engineering at that time. I was a coordinator. So all sites issues were handled like this. And this is not only on that project, and I was considered as such that he should be better placed in coordination. He can do it very well. And coordination means you have to deal with all engineering. It's not only civil engineering. Sometimes some issues came regarding mechanical engineering, regarding pumping, like this and that. And I used to answer myself, so okay, this contract is wrong. Already information is there in this graph, you refer to that graph. Then my head asked me directly, means, how can you answer this? Means, let it go to consultant, let him answer. So there's no need of sending to consultant, already answer is there. This man did not read that, that's it. So what I said, reading is very important. Sometimes, we jump. I'm talking of all over world. Sometimes we jump without requirement of jumping. Information is available, but we don't want to see document because that I want to shed away my responsibility because I did not get this information. It happened within other country also. There was an issue of lift. Means this was not approved. That drawing was not being approved due to some reasons. And this Arabic contractor, he always used to complain. There was Pakistani consultant, head of consultant, project manager, and I was site agent or project manager of that project, hospital project, about 500 beds hospital, 400. It was 500 million reals contract. I was in finishing stage there, and the structure was over. Yes, so it means many drawings used to come, and those people used to say, okay, consultant did not make this point, consultant did not raise this point, why is again writing this? And our sheikh could not understand engineering, and he agreed with those Egyptians. Okay, they are right and Pakistani person is wrong. When I took over, same issue came to me, and this manager came to me, this construction manager. See, he's raising these questions. I called a meeting. Come on, everybody come. Contractor come, you come. He complained again, same thing. This contractor and this construction manager. See, this consultant always write again and again. This is not available. This information there. I did not mind it because I know these people don't know what is quality system. These people did not know. It's not their fault. They work with quality system, but they think somebody should help them. Why should consultant help you? My question is that. I asked one question to our construction manager as well as to that contractor, vendor. Are you having certification about quality? He said yes. Then I asked him, why do you expect consultant should comment on this? What? You don't have your expertise? You don't have engineers? Don't you understand what is your job? Don't you have any policy that you have to satisfy your customer? Don't you know procedure? He was looking at me as if I was some devil. Yes, we are certified, he said. Then why do you say that consultant again and again comments? Are you happy with your work? Why should your work invite comments? Are you paying consultant for this? Why should consultant help you? You are your own consultant. You are a vendor of this equipment. This is your design. You shall operate this for maintenance period. You are giving a warranty for this. Then why do you say consultant has to comment? That person had no answer. I told him, contractually it is your job. You are not working on my designs. You are not going to work on consultant's design. It has been left to you in contract that you are responsible for this. Yes. If there is a problem in structure, you tell me. I will take care of that. If there is a structural question, we will take care of that. But as far as machine is concerned, its fitness is concerned, its working with the structure is concerned, you are responsible. You have to make sure whatever comes is fit. And they were shut their mouths. Don't come to me with this complaint. Don't, maybe he's Pakistani, that's different. But he's a consultant. Neither I am paying to him, nor my company is paying to him, and nor you are paying. That person is paid by ministry. That person is responsible to ministry and not to me and not to you. Do your job or I select another contractor. I reject you. And that person boiled up and ran away. This is a problem. We do not know responsibility. We do not know scope of our responsibility. We do not go through contract documents. We only cry out. And that applies to in our country also. Tell me, out of millions of engineers in this country, millions civil engineers in this country, how many are interested in contract work? How many know contracts? If all know designs, who shall take care of contracts? Who shall take care of quality? Who shall take care of safety? Are these not relevant questions? Writing is very important. It takes time. It is explanatory. But you should have capacity to read. Even if it is repeated, doesn't matter. Repeat means you just in place of 10 seconds, it will take 5 seconds or 4 seconds to see page. When do you think I read everything when I see some contract? No. When I suppose I am given a package of contract documents, Suraj, you take this as a bid. Just tell us what is this. My board wants to know. We have to decide whether we have to go for this bid or we have not to go for this, because we have many other contracts also. So say you are given that job. What shall you do? You cannot simply say by seeing one page that, okay, don't do this. Or you cannot simply say by something. Means you have to know something about that. You have to know what is our scope. Is that scope good enough for us? Or major portion goes to us? Or only 25% portion goes to us? If suppose only 25% we are responsible, why should we go for that job? Yes, if it's 70%, 80%, 60% job is in our company's scope, other subcontractors would do, fine. Then we have to see what are quantities of concrete, what is quantity of reinforcement, what is you can say scope of project. We have to go through all that. And what are internal requirements? How many drawings? Means what is clear work, what is unclear work? Is green field or brown field? I mean, we have to study that, and you think I have to sit and see word by word? Never. It may be 5,000 pages. It may be 2,000 pages. It may be 5 volumes, 4 volumes, 3 volumes. But you have to read everyone just page wise. When I see page, I can say what is there. When you go through contracts, it's not English language. We have to read points. We have to read facts. In fact, if you go through contract data of some tender or bid, you understand from that itself what is value of LD, liquidated damage, what is value of performance bond, what is value of bid bond. That would give you a clear picture about what this project is. Means we have to be little pragmatic. There may be 1,000 pages, but I can go through in one day, no problem, because I know what is contract, what must be there. I'm not going to say, oh, this is your excavation is your responsibility, design is your responsibility. When it is EPC, it is design, of course, your responsibility. And feed is given to you, direction is given to you. So you need not worry about method. You know that. You need not worry about procedures. You know that. It means only you can say essence you have to see, essence. And that can be done only by experience. Yes, for a new person it's difficult because that person has to know contract first. If you know your experienced one, 20 years experience, 10 years experience, 15 years experience, 25 years experience, and then experience means education. It's not simple work. When you work, you learn. And if you cannot learn, this means you are not working very foreman. Or your foreman also learns. I have seen foremen who can handle drawings, who can read drawings and do job themselves. There are carpenters even who can see architectural and structural drawings in combination who can and produce your formwork. I have seen such people. They never been to school, but they know the job. That's my point. Means I'm not irritant, but some senior person, very very senior person, if says something which is not tenable, then I have to speak. On one forum, SAFI, there are about 25,000 members, and I understand maybe thousands or more may be well experienced, pragmatic, very well educated, and maybe 20% or 20,000 may not be, they may be fresh. I don't mind fresh, they should learn. They can learn only when they love documents. You see, without documents, you cannot do anything. And I'm not saying I have done great job, no. It's a part of job. I have time, I can write. It's because of some problem in physical. I have been involved in accident, and that gave me some input. And before that also I was busy in that. And I'm not very much active in field now because of my physical health, and of course I don't have jobs. I'm now 67 and I don't expect jobs to continue in this age. And moreover, I'm not fit for sight now due to my legs problem. I can't walk very well. I'm not physically fit for that. But whatever mind has, I should give here to someone. It's for people. It's not for particular person. And if I think even 10 or 15% or 20%, 50% people, not 50 people I should say, not 50%. Even if 10 or 15% can learn something from me, I would score myself successful. When I was in university, in college, our construction professor used to say, we have a batch of about 30 engineering students. If out of you 30, if you 3 becomes this qualified, I will be successful. So for him 10% was measurement scale for success. So I say, okay, not 10%, even a 50 or 20 or 25 or 50, you learn something, you can then be successful. Because quality engineers are not available, frankly speaking. Engineers are available, but not quality engineers. Quality means who are determined. One engineer must have anguish, Engineer must have a degree of arrogance, but that degree is absent. They want to use power. In government also they want to use power. But I'm not interested in using power. I am interested in using force to let them work. Not power that I will take action against you. You have to give him what you want to do that. I don't believe in bare specifications. just like CPW specifications or some other. I don't value that, because that has been done by those who have never been in field. I don't very much depend on codes also, because those codes are not done by practical engineers. Those are done by professors or by industrialists or by those who have never faced field. So those are secondary for me. First is my way, what I think is right. That's important, because no code can force you for something, and similarly no specification force until you are clear. There may be specifications that can't work. There may be many instances on works which no drawing can help you. You have to devise your system. You have to devise your way. And that's what I say. We have to understand first everything. I use my references not because I am original author of that, but there is no book which I am copying. I am clearly saying it is collection of some information. I try to join that. Yes, there would be time when book stage comes, and it's just the start of this. This is, you can say, management documents. There will be safety documents, health documents. There will be, many other plans, building plans, complexes, town plans. And there will be like that many sequences, methods, which you can't find in books. And even if there is book, one book cannot contain all this. So I also take information from internet. Now internet is available, and I want to enrich whatever information I have to be more important, irrespective of length of document. I don't care. Means once your eyes are used to read documents, your mind is used to grasp paragraphs together. I don't think you have any irritation. I don't understand some people, what they want to know, what they want to talk. If thousands of people are against me, no problem, let them be against me. If they are against me, it means it's not a personal level. That's why I have tried to shift from Safi to Facebook, which I was interested before also to shift, because Safi was not giving me that level of response. I have not seen except one engineer any response from engineers, and the response came in very unbecoming way, as if I have done a crime. If I have done a crime and I have been entitled debris and dumping engineer, okay, I am happy with that. I am a dumping engineer, I am a debris engineer, no problem. Debris are also useful sometimes. Dumping yard is also used sometimes. So when I was young, I was called toilet engineer. So I did not mind that also, because every civil engineer is a toilet engineer. Without sewer line, without toilets, without baths, without WC, you cannot be civil engineer. So they used in call in their own language, not in English. So I don't want to say that. But this is life. Facts cannot be hidden. And if you want to be an engineer in civil world, then you have to sacrifice. Your life is different. You cannot enjoy same life. So this statement is a little different. I wanted to explain to you, because if I write this, I think it will take a lot of time. And I know that you people are not interested. Why should I necessarily waste your time? It's your pleasure. You are your own arbitrator. You are your own judge. You have your own life system. And if you are just interested in designs only, not to cross level of analysis, because analysis in designs is one part, but life analysis is another one. Field analysis is more important than your theory of structure. You have to understand bending moment of field, bending moment of construction. You have to understand all forces in construction, deflection in construction, deviation in construction, sway in construction. That is more important. You have to see what people are doing. How can you allow rusted steel? I don't understand. Everywhere it's being used. You go and see. You see and keep silent, just like a pigeon keeps eyes closed when cat appears. Are you parrot? Are you pigeon? You can't speak. Means you are allowing something very bad. And I am sure no one has courage to speak, because you say, this is not my job. Okay, speaking to people is also not my job, but I am speaking, because my conscience doesn't allow that. I speak because people should know. There was no reference to me when I was young. I didn't have any reference to books. I did not find any help from anywhere when I was young. In engineering particularly, what I have to do. If I ask you people, okay, you are engineer, go to field, some column shutting is ready, can you inspect that? And I am sure those who are fresh particularly, 100% will fail. Go and check. Tell him what to do. Tell this carpenter how to do shutters for this slab. He would do, he knows it. But I say you go and do it. Tell him what to do. I face this problem. Every tradesman, every artisan tests you in designs. No artisan would test you. Everybody wants to be structural engineer. I don't know why. Everybody is interested. No, I'm tech. I'm a structural engineer. You never experience any structure, and you are a structural engineer. Sorry, I'm saying this, but fact should not be hidden. We should not conceal facts. Without experience, you can never be structural engineer. Remember, a structural engineer doesn't mean designs only. It means field application also. If you do not have that experience, then you are just a designer, not a structural engineer. There's a difference. Quality is your responsibility. If you say, no, it's not mine, I regret that. Sorry for this, but this is a fact. Quality requirement is nothing new. Only difference is it has been standardized now. It may be ISO 9001, it may be Sigma, or it may be whatever else. Practically, every system says something. Practically, it says something, but it does not do virtually. And that is problem here. Practically, we speak anything. We can speak anything. Does it work? That's the point to mention. If our quality system we follow, it does not deliver quality product, then I don't accept that system. But in this case, I cannot say, because it's not system that's responsible, it's individuals that are responsible. System never says don't learn. System transfers responsibility to every engineer. It may be quality, construction, or even MD of company. MD is also responsible. Don't say no. You may say I am MD, I am not responsible for this. No, you are responsible for this, because you are charging cost of this. Who charges cost is responsible for everything. We are responsible technically. We are responsible for production. You are too. You are no different. This point we have to understand very clearly. World doesn't move because what I say. Your product is sold because of its reputation, of its performance. And same thing is civil work. If civil work is good, it's durable, it's qualitative, everybody will appreciate. But just because you do and don't do it by heart, by quality, I can say quality is heart of work. Quality is a mind of work. Your mind creates heart of quality, heart of work. If your mind can create heart of work, that's required. Nothing else. I am not talking something extraordinary. Quality is a system, and we too, everybody is a system. Everybody is a system. Engineer is a system. Site is a system. Design is a system. Everybody is based on system. So explanation is self. What we do, there is a method to do. When design you do, there is also a method in designs. You cannot say no. There is a procedure, there is a theory, there is a trial, there is certain criteria already, and that's totally itself is a quality of system. And in construction also, there is a system of every work, every activity which you perform, which you devise. And if you don't do that correctly, errors would come, certainly. Though these are hidden in concrete, but wrong is wrong. You know it is wrong, and you allowed it. So your conscience shall not accept this. It will come to you again and again in your mind. Oh, I did not do that. That is guilt. Nobody will punish you for that. But your mind cannot throw it out because you accepted that. You know what you know. It will annoy you. It will come to you all time in future. So that's what I mean to say. I don't want to explore much on this. I just wanted to respond to some people, and I want to share especially this talk with many people, and I am not going to annoy them. I am not going to annoy them on that forum anymore. I will use some other forum for because my my work is for world. It's not for only one forum. I use that forum because engineers are more concerned always, but I am not finding that response. Despite being thousands of engineers on that forum, I did not find them serious one, to be very frank. They are sleeping, or you may say they are dummy. They do not know more than what they know. They don't want to know more than that. It's like frogs in well, not river frogs or sea frogs. They don't want to come off their confined world. They don't want to speak. They don't want to explore whole world. And because I think there's a reason for that they are designers. They want to work in comfortable environment. There could be some other reasons also, but some people are there who work on sites, who raise problems, and those people raise problems, but they also don't want to solve. They don't want to understand solutions. They always raise problems, and problem raising is not a question, big question. It can be solved. So just give me 2-3 minutes. I'll be back, and I'll share with you more and more. Just 2-3-5 minutes maximum. Because I'm coming, I'm very stretch my legs. Okay, gentlemen, sorry, little time I had to take to do this. This system which I have kept page on. Well, I've talked a lot. I hope that you people may be convinced or may not be convinced. This may happen, and you will take it seriously. Issue of quality, irrespective of respect postings or don't posting, no postings, no problem to me. I am not. I was inclined to share information with you people, but you people are different. I did not know that. Particularly those who are also budding. Maybe you don't like it, no problem to you. I'm not going to give problems to you this way. But my aim is not, my aim is people. My aim is people of this country. Everybody should know quality is a requirement. And all are suffering, that is a fact. I can't say that only I suffer. As consumer, everybody suffers. And that's where I can say I wanted to help those people. And you may say anything against me, no problem to me. You have to ask yourself first. And there is no out, I know. There is no way out. If there is no out, there is no solution without quality, compliance, and safety compliance. But I am here interested in quality, and quality means in safety also there is quality, efficiency, quality requirement. And it has to be complied with. Everybody knows it. Engineers are experts about this. I'm not anyone to teach them something. They are very good learners. Interest among people. I talk to many senior engineers. And we can say people are not getting any benefit of absence of quality. I think expenditure is not saved, but quality is missed. We are losing quality. That's also a fact of life. I think even best projects you call, they lack in quality. That's also a fact. If you deny that fact, you deny facts. You deny, no problem. And I'm absolutely clear, we cannot blame others for this. We cannot blame system, we cannot blame government, we cannot blame people, just like we cannot blame others for failure in medical treatments. People shall certainly blame doctors or medicines. Same way, we have to blame ourselves because we are not serious. Quality cannot fail if we are not serious. Very simple. Product should be quality product. That's basic requirement. And unfortunately we do that. Or fortunately you can say, when we go to other countries and where we are forced to do that, we do that. But in our country, I don't know what sort of system it is that we just come to compromise for everything. As one engineer clearly says, quality has taken back seat, and I respect that statement, that at least one accepts that. Others don't accept this. Due to what restriction, what barricade? I don't know what's problem with them to accept facts. Despite having our media, despite having our forums, despite having our knowledge, despite having invaluable, immense information, we are not able to achieve requirement. We ourselves define that, as I always say, quality has no limits, but it is defined. Quality has certain restrictions depending on job. Quality in every project is defined. There are limitations. We call it, for this work, this quality is enough, for that work, this quality is enough. We always say that. This is very smart project, this is very responsible project, we have to care quality, and we define quality criteria that can be called specifications. In fact, specification requirement can be defined as quality on that project. One project quality may not be good quality on other project. That's also true. And we should not forget, we ourselves define that in terms of specifications, and specifications are written by engineers. These are not written by automatic system. We define ourselves what is our approach, what is our limit. And if maybe you people define very brief, but quality specifications are never brief. This should be illustrative, this should be explanatory. It may be field document or it may be project document. Only measurement is not specification, complete specification I'm talking. If you don't define that, I can say you don't do your job correctly. You do part job only. What you do, it's your prerogative. I'm not going to teach you that, that's not my job, but I can only suggest that everything should be done perfectly in complete status. I'm not saying I do everything right, I do everything wrong. It is way of working. As I adopted this way to share information with public, I use many forums. In fact, I use many forums because my inclination is public should know. If public knows that rust is not allowed on steel, then people can raise question to contractor. If we don't provide this information to public, how can they raise questions? People know the shuttering joints. When you do shutters, through joints, slurry can come out. For them it's normal because they are not informed. For them label is not important because it will be covered in plaster. They think so. Whose duty is that? If I ask questions, the people will say, okay, he will cover in plaster. Mason says that he will cover in plaster, or labor contractor says we will cover in plaster. Is that right answer? That's what I say. Payment is received, but work is not done to requirement. If we cover every excuse by that, I'll cover it in plaster, I'll cover in this, that, don't worry. If there is steel seen on surface of concrete, I'll put on plaster on that or mortar on that. Is that right way? But people think it's right way. If you don't compact your base, your formation level, oh, concrete will compact it, don't worry. Foundations will compact it. There are people to answer that as well. As I said, when somebody came to me, my colleague, my known person, you see, my friend, he used to consider me a family member. This is drawing, I got it approved through architect. And architect has taken money from me for this much now. I want this work done, but that architect says